Gary Sánchez was the best hitter on the team back in, I guess, just after the All-Star break or just before he got injured. And again, that's the thing. I mean, he was a backup catcher. So the fact that he couldn't catch, I don't think they cared.
If your main catcher is, if your primary catcher is Adley Rutschman, who, you're hoping is going to have a bounce back year and be on an offensive force, then to me, it seems you'd want your backup catcher to be a defense first guy.
Are you ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly? Joe Rossano's Orioles Report is next. Welcome to Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with Michael Sullivan. This is not your grandmother's Orioles Report. If it's good, we say it. If it's bad, we say it. And if it's ugly, we say it. Michael Sullivan, what do you got for us today, sir?
I got a couple things. First of all, Joe, I want to let you know, I got the O's hat, but I'm sort of sporting my NFL coach on the sideline look with the headphones and all of that. And that shirt, I don't know where it came from, but you're looking ripped in it. So I commend you. It took
you 6 seconds to bring this shirt up.
I know. It wasn't going to take long. Look, it's been a pretty quiet week for the Orioles. And like the only thing they did this week was sign somebody whose name I can barely say, some guy named John Kenzie Noel, who's another outfielder. And we can get to that later. But I guess since there's
he's
not
an
a lot
all-star now. Right.
Yeah, but since there's not a lot of activity going on, I thought it would be fun to discuss the 5 worst free agent signings of the Mike Elias era. And I have a list, and I can start at 5.
The Mike Elias era. Okay, because I might not have 5.
I got 5.
Just the Mike Elias area.
And you can react to each one of them.
Okay, and I might have 1 or 2 myself, but yeah, nope. I'm going to let you lead here, Michael.
Okay.
You know me. they call me Follower Joe. Michael Sullivan, lay him on me.
All right, and look, I'm sure you and I both have some very good things to say about his free agent signings this offseason, but we're going to take a step back and look at what he's done.
Yeah, we are. I love step back.
I'm going to start with my number 5 worst free agent signing of the Mike Elias era. Gary Sánchez, catcher.
Okay.
1 year, $8 million for a catcher who can't catch. A little bit of power. I don't know how many games he played. I don't know. 50, 60 last year. He was injured most of the time. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Reaction.
That's number 5.
Okay.
With 4, it gets a little more interesting, a little more expensive. So number 4.
Okay. Here we go. You're going to do them all, then I'll react. Okay. I thought we were going
you can
one
react
by
to
one.
One as we go, but we'll go with number 4. So number 4
let's go.
On my list is Kyle Gibson. Last year, they signed Kyle Gibson to a $5.25 million contract. He pitched 5 or 6 times for the major league team, and they let him go. What do you think?
Well, now what we can do here is I can Google stuff. Okay. That's a good thing about a podcast. Okay. So one thing I'm going to push back there. Okay. Because give me a second, and now the folks are going to be like, "Oh my goodness!" But yeah, your pal Joe Rossano has got to put his glasses on for this one. Okay, you pulled out some stuff here, so yeah, now you're going to make me like an old man in a tight shirt. Okay, so here's what I say: 2023, when they've signed him, he won 15 games, Michael Sullivan, 15 games. In today's standards, okay, that's a lot. That's 22 games in 1978. Okay. Now, I mean, you got a veteran, and your pal Joe Rossano here loves the veterans, Michael. That's what you're doing here. And again, they had what whenever people go online and say they should get rid of this guy, etc., or they should send so and so down, my question always is to those fickle fans is who are you going to replace him with? Like they always say, like send this relief pitcher down, but there is not a 102-mile-an-hour relief pitcher to take that person's place. Kyle Gibson, I mean, won 15 games in 2023. Last year, I mean, it was like I'm surprised they didn't sign Joe Rossano to pitch for the Orioles last year.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. So, $5 million for a starting pitcher nowadays, Joe Rossano could probably get $6 million. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the money.
2023, I'll
Yeah.
agree with you. That was a good deal. They signed him for a year,
See?
$10 million. Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
But $5 million last
Right.
year to pull the guy off his couch and pitch to an ERA of 5 or 6 for 5 games.
I think it was 7. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It was just a bit of a mistake. So
yeah.
good
Yeah.
signings
I mean,
first time
I
around.
see what you're saying,
Bad signing second.
but I see why they did it. And they did it because, I mean, they didn't have Warren Spahn that they could bring back. And, just how bad they had the worst starting pitching I've ever seen in Oriole history. Okay. Bullpen was just as bad.
They were done.
And they figured Kyle Gibson's as good as any. Throw him in there, say a prayer, $5 million. Hopefully he gets 4 people out, is what I think their thought process was there. But
I'm not sure
agreed, a bad signing nonetheless.
Last year. All right, so number 3.
Yeah.
This is a little bit in the same vein as Kyle Gibson because this is a guy who did meritorious service for the Orioles over a number of years.
Okay.
And then Mike Elias is like, okay, well, we'll bring him back. And relief pitcher, signed him in 2023, gave him $3 million, Michael Givens. And he didn't pitch. He didn't pitch, like at all, in 2023.
One game against Cleveland, but yep, your point well taken.
Yeah, so, I mean, that one, like I said, Givens was good for the Orioles for a number of years, but that year was not. All right, so this is where it gets really interesting, is the top 2 on my list. So,
all right, we love interesting
number 2
here.
on my list is Tyler O'Neill.
Oh, number 2. All right. You threw me a curveball there, figuratively speaking. I thought he was going to get the top slot, but go ahead. Number 2, and the reason he made Michael Sullivan's number 2 in the list of the worst free agent signings of Mike Elias' era is why, sir?
I would have put him number 1, except we still got him for 2 more years. And maybe he'll do something. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But they signed him for 3 years, $49.5 million. If it was just 1 year, it would be the worst signing ever. But maybe the dude manages to play more than like 60 games or 70 games this year and is productive. In which case, maybe it'll, I don't know if it'll ever work out in terms of how much he paid, but that doesn't make him the worst. Certainly not compared to my number 1.
Well, I do got bad news for the viewers. Tune in tomorrow for Mike's number 1. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I'd never watch this show again if somebody did that to me. I got to tell you, no. So yeah, I mean, and he opted back in to the contract. I mean, there was a freaking surprise. Like, what was he going to do? Opt out and try to get oh my goodness, great. He told the Orioles in August, hey, I'll be back next season.
That was a ridiculous contract, right? Letting him opt back in. That was just,
Yeah,
Michael Elias
that's
is a smart dude, but letting him have the choice,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand why.
Uh, I'll tell you why he did after you do your next
Not
one. Go.
number one, worst free agent signing of
Oh,
the Mike Elias era.
oh boy.
Charlie Morton. Last
Okay.
1 year,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
$50 million. The guy was already, I don't know, 41, 42. Like nobody else
Mm-hmm.
in the major leagues was going to sign him to a $10 million
Except
contract,
us.
but Mike Elias paid him 15. That baffled me.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't say I blame you. I can't. I mean, because I see what you're saying there. Okay, so I don't want to shock anyone, but you and I are going to agree on some of this. Okay, we're going to agree on some of this. So let's start here. Gary Sánchez. Can we start there? Can you work with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Gary Sánchez. Here we go again. A veteran. Okay, guy's a veteran. Um, I mean, if not him, right? I got to get to then who? If not him, then who?
Who was the
Now,
backup the year
Gary
before?
Sánchez, right?
Brian
Postseason
McCann.
experience. Yeah, no, okay, point well taken. But at the end of the day, the thought process. See, I think like these guys. Okay. The thought process there was he has a plethora of postseason experience. Now, going into the 2025 season, they had a pipe dream, so it turned out that they were going back to the playoffs. Okay, they thought for sure they were going back to the postseason. Now, when healthy, okay, there was a stretch where Gary Sánchez was the best hitter on the team back in, I guess, just after the All-Star break or just before he got injured. And again, that's the thing. I mean, he's a backup catcher, so the fact that he couldn't catch I don't think they cared. I think, when Scott Hatteberg played first base for the Oakland Athletics and the late Billy Beane says his defense doesn't matter. He gets on base. I think that they thought, hey, his catching doesn't matter. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark and he's not going to crap his pants in the postseason. So where am I going wrong there, Michael? I'm sure I am.
I don't know that you're going wrong. It's like I can understand the rationale, but to
Mm,
me, if your main catcher is if your primary catcher is Adley Rutschman, who
mm.
you're hoping is going to have a bounce back year and be an offensive force, then to me it seems you'd want your backup catcher to be a defense first guy. And Gary
Yeah,
Sanchez,
right,
uh,
right.
and I'm going to be
Well,
kind here,
considered how Adley fared
sucks
in the second
defensive.
half of 2024,
And
they figured, hey, man,
so,
maybe we better get some
yeah, he
offense.
had postseason
I don't know.
experience, but
I don't know. I mean, they should have brought McCann back. I mean, I
yeah,
don't disagree with that.
yeah,
And Jackson, who they picked up from the Yankees, I thought I thought he did a great job as a catcher in the second
yeah. I
half of the
thought he would have
season.
been a viable backup this year, but I guess with Basayo and Rutschman, they're like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't do it.
Where's he gonna play? I mean,
Yeah,
it's better
yeah,
off to get another utility
yeah,
guy somewhere
yeah.
like Leotes
Oh,
than to
jeez,
waste us a roster spot. Yeah, I
yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
Leody
so
Taveras. Oh my god.
okay, we did Kyle Gibson, we did
Yep.
Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
Who were the other three? Okay, Tyler O'Neill, we know Charlie Morton. Who was the other?
The last one was Michael Givens, and that was just, he got hurt. You signed him for
Okay,
$3 million.
no. Michael Gibbons. See, here we go again. Veteran. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I just think that that's how they felt. And he did not pitch poorly when he left the Orioles.
No,
Okay. And they figured that they were bringing a guy who was, and you never know in the clubhouse. He might have been a good clubhouse guy when he was here. He might have been a well-liked guy when he was here. And I got to tell you, sometimes when you bring players back, sometimes that matters. And it's just like any other job.
Yeah.
Example, like, well, I work at a company, and I'll tell you, this Michael Sullivan, he really worked out well while he was here. Heck, if he's back on the market and wants to come back, yeah, I'd welcome him back. Yeah, the folks in the accounting department, they really liked him, that type of thing. So it could be that, but it was a bad signing considering that. Yeah, the team just came off a phenomenal season, and they probably could have done better than that.
I forgot one.
Tyler, what do you got? Go.
I forgot Craig Kimbrell.
Okay, we're going to give you a bonus. We're going to give you the
1 year,
Craig
$12
Kimbrell
million.
bonus. However, now that there's 6 of them, okay, where does he rank in the top 6, though? Is he number 6? Is he number 4? Where is he?
I think he's like 4. I mean, they got
He's
a half a
4?
great season out of him. I mean, if the season had ended at the All-Star break, he might have been. Well, he could have been an All-Star. But then after that,
Yeah. No.
he was a dumpster
Right.
fire the rest of the year. But for $12 million,
All right. Before I get to Tyler O'Neill, because I'm just so excited about that one, let's do this. Let's do this one. Craig Kimbrell, okay? Now, he's going to the Hall of Fame, Michael. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Craig Kimbrell has 100 career postseason appearances, okay? And that's the mindset right there. You had Bautista go down, okay? You didn't have Mariano Rivera to replace him. And you figured Craig Kimbrell could, the veteran comes in the 9th, been there, done that. I think that the Orioles thought he was going to be much more stable. And the problem is, the second half rolled around as it often does. And there he went. But you're right. In the first half, he did very, very well. And in the second half, it was just absolutely horrible. But I always get to the thought process, and believe me, as you know, Mike, we've been doing this a
I
while
think the
together.
thought.
I'm
I
not
mean,
that
like, I
smart.
understand that thought
Okay.
process, and I hadn't really thought about that, Joe. But both with Sanchez and with Kimbrell, like I can understand that thought process. Like, we think we're going to be competing for the playoffs. We think we're going to be competing
Yes.
for. Let's
Yes.
put some guys with some legitimate postseason experience, and just hope that they can give us what they've done in the past. And so I can understand the rationale. I guess those are ones that just
Yeah.
didn't turn out well in hindsight.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, but to your point, you got Gunnar and Holiday and Westberg and Kauser, Kerstad, etc. These guys are very, very young, and they got to the postseason, and they figure, hey, you know what? To get us over the hump, we need a couple of Joe Rossanos and Michael Sullivans on this team. Some guys who have been to the postseason, and that's why I think, like, especially the Craig Kimbrells, you know, they figured that, and I'm guessing here, that they get to the postseason. Craig Kimbrell is going to get some big outs in the postseason because he's been to the postseason so many
Yeah.
times, and he knows what to do. He knows how not to sweat. Okay, but at the end of the day, it didn't work out. It didn't
Yeah.
work out. Okay, so I'm going to do Charlie Morton first because I want to do Tyler O'Neill last. Charlie Morton. Okay. Now, think about this. You're right because his numbers were so bad. Okay. But after he was terrible for 7 or 8 starts, and the team in April, tell smart I am, Michael, in April was out of it. They were out of it in April. They were finished at the end of April. I knew they were done. I knew they were not going to the postseason.
Yeah.
Again, they brought a veteran in. Fastball still plus 90. Curveball as good as anybody's in baseball.
When it works.
And they thought that, yeah, he was going to be a stabilizing veteran guy who was going to get them into the postseason because of leadership and postseason experience and the understanding of the game. That's why I think they did that. I could be wrong.
It may very well be. And you can look at it and go, yeah, dude his ERA was like, I think 4.2 the year before that with Atlanta. Which of course that's pretty damn respectable in today's, in today's
Sure. Yeah.
baseball
Today.
world.
Yeah. You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
And, the year before that, it was even better. But he was 41. And it was
He
15
sure was
million,
41. Now,
and so just seemed a risk.
Now I'm going to give the old man a benefit of the doubt here, and I'm talking about Charlie Morton. I think that, well, I don't think, I know. He got traded to the Tigers to beef up their pitching rotation at the deadline. Okay. So in other words, he pitched so well from the time that he did so terribly until the trade deadline. He looked like he, got his stuff back. His shape was back. His understanding of what he was trying to do out there was back. So it was too late for us because of the abysmal start he got off to. But I'm gonna side with you on this one. If the guy was 41 years old and they probably should have spent money on somebody else because there were pitchers out there last season that the Orioles certainly
You know what his ERA was? You know what his ERA was when he got to Detroit?
Yeah.
It was 7.
Yeah, and I think, what did they do? Did they release him too?
They did release him, and then he went and he pitched in one game. He pitched in one game, 1 1/3 innings for Atlanta after they released him. But hey, look, I mean, the Orioles traded him and they got something. I don't know what it was, but if it was more than a bag of balls, that's fine.
Yeah. Again, I'm just going to I want to Google that one real quick. So let's make some small talk here so nobody clicks off of us. So Morton to Detroit.
Yep.
Orioles trade. I think I know who it is, but acquired the Tigers acquired Charlie Morton for minor league lefty Mika Ashman. Now, we're supposed to know this, by the way, without Googling it, but I didn't. So Mika Ashman, I say, like I do with all prospects, say a prayer. But yeah, you're right. They got to, if this young man's okay, they did well. If not, he's a bag of balls. Yeah, they paid about $6 million or $5.5 million of the contract that was left. So yeah. Now,
look, Mike Ashman.
Go ahead.
Not that I know a lot about him, but if you look at his minor league stats, his career minor league ERA is something like 2.5, 2.5.
Yeah.
So,
right.
if the kid ever pitches in the major leagues and that's what they got for a guy who they're going to let go. I mean, he's going to be gone
specialist will take him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything this kid does is going to be a bonus for Charlie Morton for the reasons you specified earlier. So we don't disagree. So I'm chomping at the bit here, Michael.
So tell me, Tyler O'Neill. Let me hear what you have to say.
Tyler O'Neill, I'm dying. Okay, now here we go. 31 home runs in 2024. Okay, 31 home runs in the American League East with the Red Sox.
Yep.
What I have learned over the past few years, and I should have known this too. Right-handed hitting is hard to come by. And again, because I'm right-handed and just about everybody I know is right-handed, except for maybe out of 100 people, 2 of them are left-handed. So I just don't think in that context. But and that probably explains Taylor Ward this year. A right-handed power guy is a big time commodity. And 31 home runs in 2024. And he obviously played enough to get 31 home
It was
runs.
only
Now,
113 games, Joe. It's 113
yeah,
games, which makes that 31
yeah,
even more impressive.
right, right. And when he was healthy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a home run in 3 or 4 consecutive games. I
Um,
believe, maybe against the
I think I
Blue
think
Jays and,
I think the
maybe
stat you're
Atlanta.
I believe the stat you're thinking of is that Tyler O'Neill has homered on opening day
6
in like
times, or was it
five
5?
5 or 6 straight seasons, and he did it for the Orioles, right? He looked great in that first series against Toronto last year. And he had that 31 home run season in 24, which is they signed him off of that. He also had a 34 home run season in 21, where again, he only played like 130 games. So, I mean, the guy's power is undeniable. It's just a question of whether he can stay
Yep.
on the field.
Now, one thing I'm using that you're not, Michael, is Google. And Tyler O'Neill has achieved home run milestone, notably hitting a home run in 4 consecutive games in July 2025
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
6 consecutive opening
Opening days. Yeah.
days. So what I'm saying is that when the fella is on the field, okay? So again, if the Orioles played 26 games and they paid him 26 games worth, it was worth it. But that contract
Yeah. So, but the
allowing
question
him
is,
the player
um,
option to opt in, opt out. I mean,
what are they going to do with them, Joe? What are they going to do with them this year?
why did you have to I mean, couldn't we
Right?
end the show without
What
you
are we going to
asking me that?
do?
Oh, we were doing so
What are we going to do
good.
with it?
Um, all right, we're gonna think about this here now. Okay.
Taylor
So
Ward, Tyler O'Neill,
now
Colton
you got
Cowser, Dylan Beavers.
yeah, but you got Taylor Ward now, right-handed power hitter. Okay. Well, right off the bat, I think, again, Kobe Mayo and Ryan Mountcastle, we got to just put them over here for just this discussion. I think that Tyler O'Neill is probably your everyday DH against left-handed pitching, probably right or left field that can spell Cowser and Beavers. Okay. So just on any given night, you can have in the same outfield O'Neill, okay, and I'm sorry, O'Neill and Taylor Ward, and I guess if you got to have a lefty out there for defensive purposes, Colton Cowser, probably not Beavers. Okay, so again, now he's a monster against left-handed pitching, a monster. He strikes out every at bat against right-handers, but against left-handers, he's pretty good. So that's what I think they did with him against left-handed pitching. And once in a while to give somebody a break. He's certainly not going to play first base. He's a DH and right or left fielder. But yeah, with Taylor Ward now, no, his playing time. I mean, I'm not sure where it comes from, other than what I
Right.
just described against left-handed pitching only, unless he has great numbers against this particular right-hander, or he's hot or something like that. But otherwise, no, Michael. I think he is not going to have to be hurt this season. I think his playing
So,
time is gonna be
yeah. So, but
somewhat
this is just
limited.
food for thought, maybe a discussion for another day. But think
Let's
about it.
have it.
3 outfield positions. Okay, so 3 outfielders, first baseman, catcher, and a DH, right? So that's 6 slots.
Mhm.
The Orioles have Taylor Ward, Tyler O'Neill, Colton
Mhm.
Cowser, Dylan
Mhm.
Beaver,
Yeah.
Samuel Basayo, Adley Rutschman,
Mhm. Mhm.
and Pete Alonso. And unless they do something with them, Kobe Mayo, Ryan
Mhm.
Mountcastle, and Hurston Kerstaff. They have 10 guys, and there's only 6 lineup spots. So, I
Yeah.
mean, they got to do something with that logjam. I just have
Yeah.
to.
They have to. Because right now, I do not. Now, okay, Ryan Mountcastle's an interesting case because, in my opinion anyway, he is an all-star caliber defensive first
Okay.
baseman. He shocked me at first base of how good he was defensively. I don't I'm trying to figure out what to do with Ryan Mountcastle. I really am. I mean, again, we got through our free agents and we had our say, but this needs to be said. Ryan Mountcastle, we'll talk about Kobe Mayo in another show. That's going to be a good show. But I have to say this, and I said this in my show yesterday. I'm so disappointed in what happened. I don't want to say I'm disappointed in Ryan Mountcastle. He's probably a nice fella. I'm so disappointed as to where his career went. Came out of the gate, Michael Sullivan, 33 home runs as a rookie. I thought he was rookie of the year. I do not think it was Randy Arozarena. I thought it was definitely Ryan Mountcastle. Okay. More home runs than Ripken. And to see what happened, I'm just as an Orioles fan, I got to tell you, just so disappointed. I thought the guy was going to be a star, and he certainly started off like one. And now I do not see a spot for him on his team. I don't see one. Michael, am I
I don't
wrong
see it
here again?
either.
Tell me.
I don't see it either. And, I felt the same way as you, after his, rookie year when 33 home runs. But these are his home run totals: 33 home runs,
Mm,
22 home runs, 18 home
mm,
runs, 13
mhm,
home runs, 7
mhm,
home runs.
mhm. Yep.
So I mean, there
Yep.
really is this what happened. It's not just the fence, right? It's not just, that they moved back the wall and the fence got higher. Not that kind of power loss. That's something else,
Mhm.
which
I
diminishes his
think.
value. He's a nice defensive player.
Yeah.
Somebody might say, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
But
he's got some
who
value as a back.
cares?
But
Nope. There's, the old saying, Michael, chicks dig the long ball. Okay. And he not only hit 33 home runs, he was a pretty good average. His average had to be 270, 280 that year.
it's
And the
250.
year
It was
before
255.
that, it was what?
255.
In 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. But the rest of the league hits 220 nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Rod
No, it's
Carew is what?
his
What
career
you were
on
saying?
base.
What?
I guess the thing is his career on base percentage is like 309.
Oh my God! You see,
It's like
that's
what do you do
that's
with that?
horrible. That's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
It really is. Yeah, last year, 257 home runs, 35 driven in. Did spend some time on the disabled list, or I should say, the injured list, and just Ryan Mountcastle as a whole is a shame. What I think, okay, former pitcher and shortstop here in Little League. No, just kidding. When I was a young guy,
Yeah.
if I'm pitching, I am not throwing Ryan Mountcastle a strike. I think that there is not a pitch he doesn't like to swing at. And then he'll have a series like he did, I think, in 2023 in Toronto, where I think he had 9 hits over the 3-game series. But just I'm landing my plane here, Michael, but just I really thought that he was better than this, or was certainly going to be better than this. And out of all the players that we talked about, the free agent signings that didn't work out, or some guys who were in the minor leagues that didn't work out, I just wouldn't have figured Ryan Mountcastle. I really wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have
I
either.
really wouldn't have.
And then the other thing about him, but it's like you can look at this with almost anybody these days, and it's just baffling. Ryan Mountcastle has struck out 25% of the time in his major league career.
Let's throw him a strike. God, I'm so
I
sorry.
mean, but that used to be a ticket to the bench. But now we are in an era
Nah.
of like it's
All
two
they do is
true
strike out.
outcomes. Right. You're going to strike out a walk or a hit. And strike out a walk or home run. And everybody's happy with that, which I just think is sort of ludicrous. Give me back to Billy Beane and Scott Hatteberg, right? Just get on base, man. Let's see what happens if you get guys on base.
Get on base. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Michael, as far as the folks are concerned, here's what I want to tell the folks. Michael and I just graciously appreciate you taking some time to spend with us. I know there's zillions of podcasts out there, and you're kind enough to spend some time with Michael Sullivan, your pal Joe Rossano here, and we graciously appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with Michael Sullivan. Once again, God bless you. Don't forget to adopt a pet. We'll see you next time.